Okay, so my name is Christian, and I want to tell you now what I did the last 3.5 years for my PhD thesis, which is submission deadline the day after tomorrow. Whew, so the last 2 weeks have been busy. And so me and my little friend here, we are working in tumor immunology, and we just tried to find a new therapy against cancer. And so if it comes to cancer therapy, we could, of course, think about how good are the available cancer therapies that we have so far. And so let's have a look on Cindy. So Cindy is our lab mouse, and Cindy, unfortunately, is really sick. So she has tumors. And so she is really unhappy, as if you can see. And so what you can do against cancer tumors, if it's possible, just cut it out and it's gone. Perfect. But sometimes tumors are in brain or in heart or in other really essential organs, and then you can use therapies like radiation therapy or chemotherapy. But even though we have these therapies, even in Germany, only in Germany, the death rates only to cancer is 27%. So every fourth German dies on cancer. And that is already because we have, so even if we have these therapies, so many people die. So that only can mean, yes, we need new therapies, and we need to think about a bit further than about the things that we have already. And so there's one person that can help me to explore that, and it can help me to explain that to you, and that's, of course, Xiao Khan. And he says, bam, and I tell you now, what exactly are we doing with this guy? And so back to our model with Cindy. Cindy is sick, as you know. And what we do now is we just take a syringe. And in this syringe, we just put lots of bacteria in it because it's salmonella. You know what salmonella? It's this pathogen bacteria that you might get in the summer if you eat rotten eggs or the salad from your flatmate or something like that. And it's really pathogenic, but we put it in the syringe and we inject it in Cindy with the tumors. And what happens is tumors just get cleared. And that's, of course, what we want, because Cindy and her family are really happy. So let's try to do that. And you could say, yeah, so perfect, you found already what you need. But it's not so simple, because we just have a tumor mouse model system where it works sometimes, sometimes not. But there are a lot more tumors, and there are a lot of different bacteria. And so overall, it works a little bit, but not really good. So we have to improve it. And but of course, you can say, like, well, I mean, if a patient has already cancer, that's really, you know, that's really sad. But to inject him again with some pathogenic bacteria, that's even worse. So how can you get a strange idea like that? But it was not us. We didn't have this idea. It was a guy in Berlin called Dr. Busch, and it was already 1868. And he had patients that died on infection of Streptococcus pyogenes, and that's a really pathogenic bacteria as well. And then, as soon as the patient died, he took his cancer patients and put them into the bed where the other guys just died on the bacterial infection. And what he see was he had quite a good effect against the cancer. So he said, like, well, if that works so fine, let's take a syringe, put all the Streptococcus in it, and inject it directly in the patient. And so he did that, and that was quite efficient, because he really saw some tumor shrinkage, but unfortunately after 9 days he also saw shrinkage of the person. So, and that really died. And yeah, that's really funny, isn't it? So, so because of that we work on with bacteria against cancer. No, so you can't say that. I mean, even if there was a tumor shrinkage, the person died, so why do you work on that, you could ask me. And it's because since 1868, we made some progress in biotech, and today we are able to change the bacteria a little bit. And so the approach that we are doing is we try to use salmonella for that, and salmonella is also really dangerous, so that's why how biotech comes into the game. We just alter the salmonella a little bit, and because now, so far, as you know, they're really strong. They're strong against our immune system, against our health. And they're really deadly in mice and in humans. But they can survive without oxygen. That's later in the further slides. And of course, they fight the evil, so the cancer. But to explain biotech with salmonella is really difficult, and so I choose an organism that's really similar to salmonella, and you might guess already, yes, it's Shah Rukh Khan. And it's because it's really similar, because he's also really strong, and he's really deadly, and of course he can survive without oxygen, and of course he fights the evil. So that's a perfect model organism to explain how our therapy will work. And so if we get back to the description of biotech, I now just describe biotech with Shah Rukh Khan. And so we have to change this guy a little bit, because now, as he is now, he's much too dangerous. And if you would take him, put him in the syringe and inject him in the patient, you know what will die. Yeah, this guy is much too strong. And so we have to change him a little bit, and we take just away what makes Shah Rukh Khan really dangerous. And what makes him really dangerous? You might say his heart, because he can love you to death or something like that. That's true. That's true, but he can also kill you with his hands and with his arms. So just let's take away these things. And then it's like a Shah Rukh Khan now. It's not so strong anymore. He can't, he can't punch you, he can't kick you. But still it's Shah Rukh Khan. I mean, he can tell you really nice words, and he would die of that, and he can love you, and he can look into your eyes. So this guy is still dangerous, but not so dangerous anymore like before. And if you take this guy, put him in a syringe, and inject him into the pure Cindy, what will happen is, yeah, bam, she's healthy again. All right. So, again, you could say, well, then you found already what you wanted to find. Perfect. But it's just what I said before. Shah Rukh Khan is really powerful, even under these conditions. But he's not strong enough to cure all the different cancers and all the different tumors. So almost all cells in our body are able to mutate, to form cancers. And as you know, we have lots of different cell types in our body, so we can have lots of different tumors. And it's not easy to cure all of them with the same treatment. And usually it looks like this, that we have a growing tumor, and then after the treatment, it just shrinks and it goes away after whatever time. But sometimes it's like this, that tumors are just recovering after the first shrinkage, and sometimes it's even that they are not really impressed by the infection at all. So that means maybe Shah Rukh Khan is not the right guy for this mission, and so we in our lab and also other labs try to work with some other guys, like with Bruce, for example. But Bruce is much too brutal, and he kills the bad tumor, but he also kills the patient, so not really good. The second one is like Winnie Pooh. Yeah, he's not really doing anything against the patient, but he's also not doing anything against the cancer. Also not really good. So then also there was the idea to take other people or other guys that, but unfortunately they also didn't do anything against the evil, but everything that was good before was worse after, like this guy, for example. So, okay, so we decided, so we decided, we just stay with Shah Rukh Khan. That's the best guy available, but maybe we need to say that, his anti-tumor effect is not satisfying. So maybe we can optimize it. And for optimization, we just have two projects. And the first one is like this that we want to use salmonella to work together with the immune system against the tumor. And for this example, we need to look inside this tumor here. And then we just cut it in the middle, in the half, and then it looks like this. That's the bad tumor, and the orange thing is a mouse. And these are all cells of the immune system. And as you can see, the immune systems, the cells are all outside and not inside the tumor. And that's because a tumor looks a bit like a stronghold. Yeah? It's big walls, and the enemy is behind it. It's invisible, and the immune system doesn't know what to fight and whom to fight. So that's the reason why we don't have really access, or the immune system doesn't have access. But if we come with our syringe and inject lots of Shah Rukh Khans inside the mouse, then you have a spread of the bacteria in the whole mouse and also in the tumor. And this induces a certain kind of an immune reaction that kind of forms pores in the tumor. And the good thing is that the immune system can clear all the Shah Rukh Khans out of the body, but not inside the tumor. And what happens then is you have like kind of holes, pores in the tumor, and then the cells of the immune system suddenly have access to the tumor because they can infiltrate through the thick walls. And then these cells can cure the tumor, and Cindy is happy again. So that means Shah Rukh Khan in this respect is, oh, yeah, just 3 more slides. Okay, I'm almost done. So Shah Rukh Khan is here kind of an alarm system that tells the immune system where to go and whom to fight. If we understand that better, then we can also improve our therapy. The second project is really simple. That's the tumor again, our crowd of Shah Rukhs inside. And especially to mention, in the middle of a tumor, sometimes there's no oxygen because the tumor grows too fast and the blood vessels cannot follow. And then the Shah Rukh Khans have a certain gene that allows them to produce some substances that they need to live without oxygen. And these substances might be secreted and then be surrounded the whole crowd of Shah Rukhs. And then Shah Rukh Khan had the idea, hey, maybe we could change my genes. Maybe we could use this gene here and exchange it against another gene, which might control a toxin instead of this protein, what it was controlling before. And so with this changing, Shah Rukh Khan doesn't produce this protein anymore, but a toxin. And if it secretes this toxin, then this toxin would maybe kill all the tumor cells surrounding it. And if all the big crowd of Shah Rukh Khans is doing that, then we could have the effect that the whole tumor is going away, and the therapy would be successful too. So this time, Shah Rukh Khan is kind of a transporter for lots of toxins inside the tumor, and because all the other Shah Rukh Khans in the whole body get killed by the immune system, it's really specific, and it only works in the tumor, so it's really good. So that's the second project, and if we are able to combine the 2 projects to one, we could really provide a perfect strategy that doesn't have many side effects and that maybe are a good idea against a cancer. And if we make it, then Cindy is happy, Cindy's family is happy, and then furthermore, that's the day when Shah Rukh Khan kills the cancer. Thanks for listening.